One of the biggest lizards on the African continent has been caught in uMlazi township in Durban. The Nile Monitor is found throughout most of Sub-Saharan Africa and is one of the largest lizards in the world. The South African Association for Marine Biological Research, based at uShaka Marine World, says the reptile was found to be carrying and later laid 29 eggs, 27 of which were viable. eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli went to find out more.
Africa's longest lizard, the Nile Monitor, caused a stir when it was spotted by residents in uMlazi. They say they saw the reptile roaming one of the gardens a few times and grew concerned for its well-being. Lead herpetologist at uShaka Marine World, Carl Schloms, explains how the lizard was brought to them.
One of our local snake rescuers, Nick Evans, we received a call from him and he brought us the animal. It was what we call egg-bound, so it was full of eggs. You could physically see the eggs on the side of the animal. And when they get to that sort of situation, it's very bad because they can retain those eggs and the animal will die. The lizard we're talking about in particular actually went into a home and tried to make an excavation to dig her eggs and lay her eggs. And she was unsuccessful. She came back, and that was the problem. That's when the actual resident called Nick Evans to remove the animal, and that's when it was brought to us. At that stage, it had unfortunately become so full and so thick with eggs that it was actually egg-bound.
Nile monitors are an endangered species, which means that international trade of the species is prohibited. In South Africa, it's a protected species.
They are protected by legislation too. So they have a big distribution. They are threatened in quite a few ways for meat, the meat trade, so people eat them. They're used in the muti trade and the skin trade. And another big one is the pet trade. So yeah, they are threatened in that regard.
Recently, another smaller Nile monitor had been brought in and laid 13 eggs. Veterinarian Carol Knox says they'll be taking care of her until she's all better.
So this monitor lizard had a history of laying some eggs and then stopping halfway through. So the keeper wanted to understand if there are any eggs left or whether she was finished her clutch. So we took some x-rays and we saw that there are 4 remaining eggs. And we took some bloods to see if the animal is sick, to try and understand why she was halfway through laying and then she stopped.
The Nile monitor usually ranges in size between 1 meter to 1.5 meters, but can reach up to 2 meters in length. People are warned not to keep them as pets as they aren't the friendliest animals. Lethiwe Mdluli, Durban.